All right, good morning. So I've been wanting to do this video for a little bit. So here we have it. Fortunate for everybody watching this video, I am on a time crunch. I'm going to lunch here in a little bit, so I've got about 19 minutes to do this. So I'm going to be quick about it. So what we have here is the Winterblade Severn. I recently got this as a gift for my dad, and I imagine my dad will probably watch this at some point. Dad, I hope you are loving it. But I carried it a little bit, used it a little bit, and so, I mean, it's a little bit dirty in there, and I wanted to see how it works and such. Give it a good cleaning, lube it up, put some lock stick on it, do all the things that I would do if this was my knife, and make it great to go. And while I'm doing so, I will talk about it and give my opinions on it and so on and so forth. So what we have here is the Winterblade Severn. I believe this is his second knife that he came out with. This particular one is the collector's, quote-unquote, collector's edition that he did. He did have a run of, I think, 200 of these blue aluminum scales with the laser etching, which looks really nice. And this color, it's really the camera doesn't do it justice, but this blue really freaking pops. It's really good looking. And for the collector's edition, we get aluminum and magna cut, whereas if you get the regular edition, you get titanium with M390 with a laser etched bacon Damascus looking blade, which is weird. I'd rather have the titanium scales with the magna cut blade. I don't know why they did it like they did, but indeed they did the way they did. So from what I can see here, it's basically just like a Snex lock, shark lock, what have you. And I think he calls it a stealth lock. And we have a mechanism on the back that has jimping on it. And what happens here is when you bring your finger back, it grabs that jimping and pulls it up. So you are able to just push this back without lifting that little lever up, but naturally it wants to kind of pull up like that. And so for myself, it is a little bit difficult to operate. I wish they would have given us a little bit more, but then it wouldn't be so stealthy, right? But from what I can see here, they just did a Snex type locking mechanism, because when it locks, you can see there, it just, the back of the blade, we've got that area right there where we've got a spring that's pushing up, and whenever that comes up, it's going to lock into place very stealthily. It's almost like, did that lock or what? Yes, it did lock. And the neat thing too is when that's locked, you don't have any play. I mean, there's very minimal play, if any. I really don't feel any play in any direction. So with typical crossbar lock situations, you're normally going to have a little bit of blade play, which isn't a huge deal breaker. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's still great, but, you know, having zero blade play just shows that you have a really great locking mechanism. So what Brian Winters has done here, we'll see if I'm wrong, but it looks like he has a shark lock type situation with access on as a axis. When I say axis lock, that is Benchmade's little crossbar style lock. So we've got like a Snex shark lock with a freaking, God, I'm having a brain fart. I can't say the words. Axis. I think I may have said lock bar at one point. Axis. We've got whatever that's called. So we've got a shark lock with ability to do it. Man, I'm just an all mess of words today. So anyway, I think it is just that. I've heard a lot of people say that it's a lot going on, that it's a really complex locking system, but I just can't see it. So we're going to take it apart and see what's going on. Another thing that I'll talk about here real quick, we've got this thumb stud that is able to be moved, and that's actually, Winterblade is known for magnetic EDC, right? And we've even got one of the little Easter eggs I have found is somewhere right there. You see it? It says mag. I haven't seen anybody point that out yet, but it says mag in there. And the only magnet we get is that thumb stud, which I will speak more on in a bit. We've also got a very, very thin blade stock, making this an absolute joy of a slicer. We've also got a really nice contouring on the sides of the blade, which I don't know that I've really seen done before. It almost has the appearance of a crowned spine, but it's really just chamfered edges. And yeah, we've got that lightning bolt kind of cut out there, and this thing is just a fidget masterpiece, dude. Same with the Factor, just a fidget friendly gold mine of fidgety goodness. So let me see if I can set this camera up and we will take this apart. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we're T8 everywhere, which is nice. I generally I will typically grab my iFixit set because I really like this little tool we get. You've got every tool you'll ever need here, which is nice. Except for they didn't give you a T9 for your Grimsmoke people, but I have this, which has T9 on it. But anyway, so let's take this thing apart and see what we got going on here. I'm going to start with the pivot. Damn, that's really in there, huh? You can buy a really nice pocket clip for the Severn on Winterblade's site, but it's $100. I mean, how many people have $100 laying around to get a pocket clip? Probably a lot of people, but man, that's a big screw. Check that out. That pocket clip screw is so big compared to the other ones. Okay, so here's our scale. Very, very lightweight. I mean, there's nothing to it. Then we've got all right, it is apart. Here's our locking system. Okay, I have to put this camera down and take a look at what I got going on here. It's hard for me to talk when I'm doing this. I really like the finish that we've got on here. Really interesting. I've never really seen a blade with this sort of situation going on. It's really neat. And move that. Wiping this down. And we've got another one on this side. Here's the spring. It's got some grease on it. Dude, I don't know if I have any grease that I can use. I guess I don't really need to take that out. I just need to wipe it down. As far as disassembling a knife goes, if you don't have to take it out, don't. That's my advice. If you don't have to take it out, don't. I wish I had an air duster. That's one thing I'm surprised I don't have in all my years of doing this sort of stuff. Okay. Trying to figure out how this goes back in here somehow. Yeah, I think just like that. And then that's going to go in there. Okay. And that's going to go to lock that. Yep. Just lock that. Okay. And then I've got this little guy that I gotta put it back in there. You know, unless that, nope, it does not go right there. He goes, man, I don't know. If you can see that hair, be careful. You don't want any of that. Okay. I put that on there. I didn't mean to. I mean, I did mean to, but it's not ready for that yet. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my, this is my, what is it? Knife Pivot Graphene Lubricant. Basically KPL Knife Pivot Lube. It's pretty much all it is. This was sent to me. I have regular KPL, but I like this stuff. It smells good. Rob's Nerdy Knives sent me that in a care package when I had won. Ooh, that's dirty. Okay. I'd won a knife on his channel and he sent me a little care package. So the reason I am using a Q-tip there is because really, when you're dealing with knives with ball bearings, you don't need a whole lot of, if any, you don't need a whole lot of lube on the bearings because they're freaking ball bearings. They're fine. But I do like to add just a little. It makes it run smoother. Okay, so let's put this guy back on there. Then we'll grab Mr. Bearing. And for this case, we've got open side and closed side. And I remember the closed side as going on the metal. Like that. So now that that's on there, put that straight. Okay, so see what's happening here. When this is forward, damn, that's all, looks like it's all jacked up. Basically, when that's forward, it locks the knife. And a lot of people were saying it was a lot more complex, but that's what it is. It's not a whole lot more. And then you've got this area here that's making contact with the blade, the back of the blade there. So I'm probably going to put a little bit of grease on that too. Probably put a little bit of heavy there. I'm going to wipe wipe off whatever's already on there because I don't want to mix two different types. Yeah, he's probably got better stuff there. Dad, if you're watching this, I know you've got probably some gun grease that's actually like thick, gummy, that white grease you saw. Maybe you didn't, but if and when you take this apart again, you might grab that and use that, some gun grease in the spring and in that back area that I just did there. Okay, so now we're going to put this back on. Let's make sure it's the right way. Whoa. That was my timer to stop.
Two hours later.
Yep, this goes there, and it's shaped to where it's got to go in there a specific way. That's what's going to make my spring work. Okay. Great, I just shot my spring across the freaking room. Knives with springs are generally a pain in the ass. I want to stop and say, when you get to this point, when you get the spring in there correctly, do not mess with it. Put the top piece on it so that it cannot shoot anywhere, and go about your day. There it is. Okay, now I gotta put this back together carefully. And hope that it works right. Start with the clip. And if you do start in the back like this, make sure that you leave them kind of loose. You don't want to tighten them all the way. Now I'm going to go straight for the pivot. Now this is important. Get some blue lock stick, like so. Put you a little bit on there. You ready? Okay. Right behind you, babe. I got 2 screws to put in. Perfect time to drop one too. You see that? I dropped that screw. She's pissed.
2 hours later.
Perfecto. Love it. Thanks for watching.
Take back who I was before. If it's no, then all my dreams have not been interesting in a while. This has not been interesting in a while. Wow, wow. I wanted to fly, but they say a system's coming in. The chances are just ain't gelling.